If you are somebody who gets hungry in the evening, I often do. It's best if you don't go to bed hungry, because if you go to bed hungry, you won't have a restful sleep. And don't be worried about having a snack before bed if you're trying to lose weight or you're on a diet and think that it's going to make you gain weight. It's not going to make you gain weight. I've done this for years. I've never gained any weight from it, and it really does help me sleep better. And you can select foods that actually will enhance the production of serotonin in your brain, which will help you fall asleep. Things like yogurt, cereal with milk. Any carbohydrate and protein will work great. Keep it light, keep it low sugar. You don't want to stimulate yourself. Nuts are great, peanut butter is good on crackers, things like that. Have a little snack. Try to have it an hour before bedtime. That way you've got that hour for the serotonin to start being produced. And because these types of foods contain what's called tryptophan, I'm sure you've heard of that. Turkey contains it. Have a little turkey before bed. Does the same thing for you. And it'll help you sleep through the night. You won't have an empty tummy. It won't, keep you awake. And sometimes you feel cold that way in the wintertime. It nods you off into a nice deep sleep. So having a snack at night, if you feel you need one before bed, can really help. Again, if you're not hungry for anything, have a little warm milk or a glass of tea, a cup of warm tea. All of these help prepare you for sleep. It's like a little ritual. Now plan on getting at least 7 hours of sleep. 8 is just optimal. It's great if you can get 8 hours of sleep. Now, how do you go about deciding how to get your sleep and what time to go to bed? It's best if you keep a regular bedtime. So you should wake and you should go to sleep at the same time or roughly the same time every day. Our bodies work best when they're on a schedule. So figure out what time you have to get up in the morning, whether it's 6:30 or 7, and then work backwards from there, which means then you'll have to go to sleep. If you have to wake up at 6:30, then you'll want to go to bed at 10:30. And you'll start your nighttime routine of winding down, between 9:30 and 10:30, and then it's lights out. Now, what if you're lying there and you can't fall asleep? Well, give it time. Try to practice some deep breathing, some deep relaxation. Even if you wake up in the middle of the night, try to stay in bed. It's better than getting up. If you absolutely can't and it's causing you anxiety just lying there, then get up, do a little reading. Try to keep the light to a minimum. You don't want to now stimulate your brain to stop producing melatonin and thinking it's, daytime again. So you want to keep it soothing. Perhaps you need a cup of tea, and then you try to go back to sleep again. I always find that just lying there and just visualizing some calming thoughts and practicing deep breathing is just as good for me, even if I can't fall asleep, because I'm still resting. My mind is resting, my body's resting. And even if I can't fall asleep, I always say to myself, well, at least I'm resting. I'm not doing anything. And it kind of takes the pressure off of falling asleep. Some nights you just can't, and it's kind of it's a write-off, and you'll make up for it the next night. And that leads me to something regarding making up what's called a sleep deficit. Now, let's say you require your 8 hours to feel the best. And you'll know that by the way you feel, especially if you wake up before your alarm. It's a really good indicator that you have found the optimum amount of time for yourself. Then your body is on a great cycle because it knows exactly when you're going to be wanting to wake up, and it wakes up on its own. Now, if you, let's say, needed 8 hours and you only got 6, well, you have a 2-hour sleep deficit. And if you do that all week, say for 5 days, you'll have 10 hours of sleep that you need, that you owe your body, that your body wants you to make up. So then you think, well, okay, I'll make it up on the weekend. I'll sleep really late. Well, that's not always a good idea. And how many times have we all slept really late thinking that we're going to feel refreshed because we were up so early and missed out on sleep, and we just feel lethargic and tired all day long? Well, that's because you slept too long. And there is a such thing. You sleep too long and you went into too deep of a sleep, too close to when you were going to awaken. And because of that, you felt groggy and tired all day. It's better if you just try each night after that to go to bed earlier and try to get up around the same time. And I know on the weekend we all like to sleep in. You can sleep in a little, no problem with that, a few, maybe 2 hours or so. But sleeping in too much, well, that will usually lead to unproductivity and you feeling very tired throughout the day. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, if you're somebody that has the luxury of being able to take a nap during the day, if you're very tired, you do need a nap to help you go through the rest of the day, and you can do that, then go ahead and do it. But do keep it under 30 minutes and try to take the nap before 3 p.m. because you don't want it to interfere with your ability to go to sleep at night. This is very important if you have insomnia. If you're just a person who just has no trouble falling asleep and you nap once in a while, that's not a problem. If you're somebody that has insomnia, you have to be very careful when you do these types of napping because it could cause you then to stay up later at night. You don't want to do that. Now, you also should watch the amount of caffeine that you have throughout the day. If you have a problem with sleep, it's best to stop drinking any caffeinated product after 2 p.m. in the afternoon. People who are sensitive to caffeine often feel the caffeine for 10 hours later. And for me, I don't drink coffee or anything like that, or caffeinated teas. I always will drink decaffeinated tea, but I do love chocolate, and especially dark chocolate. And I found that it can be a stimulant for me. So if I'm having trouble certain days falling asleep, I will be sure to forego having chocolate later in the day because it will help keep me up. So do be aware of your caffeine intake. It's very important. Alcohol is another stimulant that you might want to try to avoid. It could interfere with your sleep pattern. So try to limit your alcohol intake as well. Have your alcohol quite a few hours before bedtime to make sure that it's not going to interfere with your sleep. It can prevent you from going into deep REM sleep and cause you to be very restless during the night. So you definitely want to try to curtail that. Anything you can do to keep your life regular can really help with sleep problems. And one of those things that helps you keep your life regular is exercise. And you know how important I think exercise is for everyone. Exercise not only reduces stress and anxiety, exercise can improve the longevity of your sleep pattern, in the length in which you sleep. It can help you sleep deeper. You do want to practice regular cardio exercise. It's very, very important. I do recommend that you try not to exercise right before bedtime because your body temperature is still elevated for quite a few hours after you exercise. So you want to give your body enough time for it to wind down and to slow down a little bit and for your body temperature to drop. So you need at least 4 hours if you're having sleep problems before bedtime to stop exercising. So try to get it done earlier in the day if you're having trouble sleeping. For those lucky people who don't, well, you can do it a little bit later into the evening, but you should have at least 2 hours before bed. And you also get the benefits of exercise because when you exercise, your metabolism stays revved for quite a few hours, burning calories. You might as well have that benefit for yourself throughout the day rather than sleeping through it. So I hope this video helped you. I hope if you're suffering from sleep problems and sleep disorders, first of all, that you try to help yourself, by doing the suggestions that I gave you. Keeping a sleep diary can be very helpful too. It'll help you pinpoint what the problem area is. You write down when you went to bed, when you woke up, how you felt, things you ate. And then as you look it over, you might be able to say, oh, well, look what I did that day and I slept really well, or didn't do and didn't sleep very well, that kind of a thing. And practice having a regular routine. And now, if you're having trouble sleeping, you can try melatonin supplements. I don't recommend it if at first. Do try first all the suggestions that I gave you about changing your lifestyle and unwinding and getting ready for bed and creating the atmosphere for sleep. And if still you're having trouble, before you do anything like sleeping pills, because I'm not a big advocate of using medications, that's my mantra, you can try melatonin supplements. They do have some mild side effects, so you do want to check into them, headaches, sometimes dizziness. Also, there's, the grogginess that can be associated with them. So you do want to make sure you take them about 2 hours before bedtime and keep the dosage as low as possible to begin with and see if it helps you. It helps some, and some others it does not. So you may want to give it a try. And then there's valerian, which is an herb, which may be helpful to you as well. And they make, nighttime teas sometimes with that. So you can purchase first, get a tea, and sip a nice warm tea that contains valerian, and see if it helps you go to sleep at night. Again, with everything, there's always the risk of allergies or anything like that. So you do want to make sure if you are on any medications that could conflict with taking any, that you check with your doctor. Many medications are the cause of insomnia and anxiety and sleeplessness. So you'll want to take a look at that too. That's part of what you're going to do to try to figure out whether or not you have a sleep disorder associated with something that's going on in your life that you can change. For my younger viewers, I know when you're a teenager, it's your actual clock is a little different, in which you can stay up later at night. And you function better later at night than you do early in the earlier part of the day. And one of the many benefits of being a teenager. However, it can catch up with you if you pull too many late nights and you don't get enough rest. So if you're going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, well, make sure that you can get up at 9 o'clock, because you will too feel, especially if you're exercising, you're on sports, you've got a busy schedule, and many of the kids today have so much going on. They need their rest. So cut in a little bit earlier, turn off the computers, and the cell phones and your PDAs and everything. You're, blogging late at night and texting late at night, and put it away if you're having trouble sleeping, and you will sleep more soundly. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you will give my tips a try, and it'll get you thinking about the importance of sleep. A lot of us take it for granted, and we just think we'll just grab it when we grab it, because we're such busy people and everything we do just seems to take priority over getting some rest. But it's the one thing that will keep you able to do all those wonderful things, that your body is rested and it's feeling well. It helps keep your immunity up as well, helps keep you fighting illnesses so you don't get run down. And you can do that with sleep, regular, restful sleep. So please subscribe, because I have so much more to come. Something for everyone. And please do visit me at my blog spot, where I do a lot of writing. And I will speak to you soon. Okay, bye-bye now.